right here,
I
don't
think so.
we? See an empty
Well,
chair
I
over there,
mean-
so we're missing somebody.
Lead him into that.
Yeah,
You ready?
but,
He let him lead him into a few things, I think.
yeah, but it's,
But
I mean, technically, it's illegal.
It
What he
is,
did
it is,
illegal,
it is,
so
it
it
is.
wasn't, it's kind of much ado about nothing.
Right.
All right, it's 3:00, let's get started, call the meeting to order. One of y'all want to do a roll call? Yeah?
All right, Mayor Hobbs,
Here.
Chairman
Hey, Ms.
Anderson,
Bradley.
Here?
Thank you.
Vice Chairman Watson,
Present.
Secretary Hunt,
Here.
Commissioner Heisman,
Here.
Alderman Anderson, here, Director Perry.
Here.
Assistant Director Foley. And Billing Office Manager Jennifer. Okay.
All right, we have a quorum. First item on the agenda is to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
There's a
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the agenda. Any modifications or changes? Hearing none, all in favor of approve the agenda, say aye. Aye. Okay,
So on the agenda, I'm just gonna take off the 4 items pending, Tuesday's meeting, so we're just gonna scratch them.
Okay. all right. Next item is citizens' comments. Sir? Yeah, nobody got any comments?
Well,
What-
sorry, I was just thrown off a little bit. I've been thinking about this since last night. I'm really grateful for everything, sorry, that's been accomplished in the last year. My mom was here last week, and it rained pretty heavy. And she said, "Are you gonna go look at manholes?" It was just a happy moment to be able to tell her, I don't need to. So I really appreciate everything our guys and gals have done to make progress, especially over the past year.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I think there's some good news Jeff has about that in regard to inflow anyway, that we're gonna get to.
There's some even more good news that I updated. I haven't updated y'all, but I will when we get to my portion of it.
Okay. Review of the previous minutes. Now, Gary, you and I need to sign.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve?
Approve.
We got two sets.
Okay.
These done been approved.
Approved.
Got a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay.
Who was the second?
Terrence. So we can do both of them.
Yeah.
All right. Mayor's report.
Not a whole lot that I'm going to talk about today. I'm gonna let Director Perry tell you all the good things that are going on in his department. Don't know if everybody knows, but our rate increases did not pass BOMA. Very disappointing considering that everybody but one person voted in favor of the budget. They knew it was in the budget. They knew it had passed this committee. It went to Budget and Finance and passed. So that was kind of a shocker, right? Just to be perfectly honest with you. I think the path forward is to change the percent a little, revote, and send it back, okay? You know, we would have never included it in this year's budget had we didn't have the committee support and then the board passed a budget. So my apologies that we're gonna be another little bit behind in getting the rates together for you guys to do good stuff, okay? And that's really all I'm gonna talk about today.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Jeff, your report?
Yes, sir. So, where do I want to start? So, in the month of May, I did a comparative analysis on the 2024 influent flow with the rainfall included. And from May of 2024 to May of 2025, there was 13 million gallons less influent flow that was treated through our plant, which means that more or less 13 million gallons of rainfall or inflow was taken out of our system. With more rain in 2025 than that was in 2024. Today, or this morning, pulled June of 2024's influent data and June of 2025's influent data. We've had more of a rainy season this year, but according to the influent flows, an extra 2.5 million gallons was removed compared to June of last year. So in all, total, we've removed about 15.5 million gallons, just comparing month to month. So that's some good news, and that, to me, that goes to show the work that we've been doing is making a huge difference in seeing what comes to the plant.
And to put that in a little more perspective, right, that's 500,000 gallons a day. You have 500,000 gallons a day, right, on a plant that normally did 2.something million gallons a day. That's big, right? That's good job. I mean, you guys tell everybody down there they're doing a good job.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, I think you pointed that out in one of our previous meetings. A capacity issue is really not a capacity issue if we can take care of I&I. We've got a water treatment plant that will suffice for many years, as long as we don't have a lot of I&I. And so I think that's where we're spending our efforts, a lot of it, and that's a good thing.
And along those lines, right, I mean, the upgrades and things that Director Perry is wanting to do with the plant is just for efficiencies, which is huge, right? It helps the plant do better as it goes. So as we continue to take more pressure off the plant and we get a few upgrades to the plant,
Even better off.
We're gonna be a lot better off.
So, again, Garner's Furniture, like I was telling Mr. Hunt, we fixed the water leak there, and that discussion about it being paved, we can discuss that.
Well, I can talk a bit about that, because Jeff sent me the note. I've worked with George. We've got Roger's group. We're gonna fix that back and pave it so water doesn't run into buildings, okay?
The gravel there needs to be lowered. It's right now, it's, you can tell it's a higher elevation than the old pavement. So it's dumping, water in it.
Talking with Roger groups and stuff, we're gonna be it so that everything, if it does hit the surface, goes to the middle and not toward the buildings.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'd be good, Lord.
Yeah.
And plus, they paved over the water valve.
Yes.
They'll dig that up.
We'll get all that straightened out.
Okay, that's fine. He's not concerned that it gets done tomorrow, November, doesn't matter, as long as it's on the books
It's
to
on
get
the
done.
books. We're in our paving season, and
Yeah.
we're gonna catch it while they're here paving with us.
Okay, that's fine. I'll let him know.
Yes, sir. So the month of June, we made 9 repairs on service lines, had 1 water main break. We made 5 water taps and repaired 2 water hydrants, fire hydrants. The wastewater plant, currently we have 1 position that is vacant. Applications that are submitted as of right now are being reviewed. I won't go through all the repairs. I mean, you can, I don't want to bore y'all to death reading that. Wastewater collection system, we fixed 8 sewer lines that were either collapsed or broken in the month of June. Our televising van, was down for over 20 days, so we only got to televise 7 days during the month of June. During those 7 days, we televised 7,182 feet of line. On the 24th of June, we were smoke testing and found an abandoned 4-inch sewer line that was not capped off, that dumps into a 10-inch sewer line, and roughly put out it was able to take in 3,000 to 4,000 gallons per minute, which is a pretty huge fix, going down. It flows through Skinner Flat area, so that removes some of the pressure off of Skinner Flat. And, I'm happy about that because I live in that area.
One of the worst places we've had for overflows
Yes, sir.
too, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Ground saturated out there.
The sewer collection system projects, the Norris Brothers have installed 1,006 linear feet of cure-in-place pipe, 1,100 linear foot of 24-inch ductile iron pipe, 3 manholes and 1 string crossing. And on the next project, Fisher Excavating has installed 725 linear feet of 18-inch PVC pipe and 2 manholes. If there's anything that Mr. Carter would like to add about those projects, if not, yes, sir.
The only other one that I'd like to talk a little bit about is it Sycamore?
Yes.
Sycamore Drive,
So Ms. Mills.
Miss Mills. yeah.
So Ms. Mills has historically had problems with her basement flooding. We had, the pumping station, her sewer line ran out the front of her house. We ran, I can't remember how many foot it was exactly. I want to say it was 600 foot, I think, 6-inch sewer line out the back to the sewer main that runs along the back of her property. We made a tap and we were able to alleviate her problem that she's been having for a pretty good while.
Yeah, she's had at least 3 and possibly 4 events in her basement. And so while we're over there putting in the new lines and everything, we had an opportunity to fix it. Director Perry and his team did it in-house. So it just cost us some material, which I think there's another, maybe 1 or 2 along that road that we're trying to reach out to see if, while we're there, anybody that's had any issues, let's just do it while we're there.
Those houses, there's several houses there had issues since day one. I mean, basically when the sewer line's above your house, it's pretty hard for it to flow uphill.
3 roots that are getting into their sewer lines. I know Ms. Mills had roots in her sewer line as well, and it was
I think several people had grinder pumps, I think. or-
but still, when you have roots
Yeah.
going out past the grinder pump to the
Right.
main, you're gonna have problems.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, if I'm not wrong, I think we even had some backflow type
Had
printers
to.
on them, so where it shouldn't go back in, and it just still had events there, so.
Those things don't last forever.
No, and I mean, and while we're over there, it just made sense, and so, but I did want you to mention that you guys did that.
So Fisher Excavating, there's been a lot of praise on their work, the work that they've done. And I think moving forward with future projects, it would behoove us to include them into projects and maybe even to look, bid-wise and work-wise of, is the bang worth the buck?
Yeah. Where they out of?
They are out of Illinois. Yeah. But they're looking to move their operations more into Tennessee,
Yeah.
and they've done some jobs here, I think. I don't know if this is the biggest job they've had here.
Yeah, they get some in Lebanon, Clarksville, various places.
And what Director Perry is being really nice about is Norris Brothers continues to be problems. They win these things and we use them because that's how it's stated that we're to do. But we're gonna have some real big conversations about them guys when this project with them is over. Okay, I mean, it's a constant battle. St. John's has an inspector on, it's a problem. And so we wanna get through this project with them, and we're gonna come back to the table and we're gonna talk about them guys individually over the last projects we've had with them. And I think it's time that, we do something to move on, to better contractors.
I understand that Tullahoma won't take any bids from
No, and they can't even work in their own hometown. I mean, it's,
them. They got problems.
they do, so, but, you know, the way our stuff is written, it talks about the fact that, you know, we have to take the lowest bid. We had concerns when we awarded them the project, but Adam, you can tell me it was like $1 million cheaper than everybody else that bid on that project?
Overall, roughly something like that.
And, you know, it's hard to walk away from that $1 million, but look, if we're gonna spend all this back money and we gotta spend it out there investigating and we're concerned, did we really win there?
It's hard to believe anybody could be that much cheaper
Yeah.
at the same level.
And also having to go back on
50,000,
their,
100,000, yeah. but-
And the other two that you had, you're 100% right, they were all grouped in there tight but them.
Yeah.
But the way our language is.
Doesn't it say best and lowest, or just lowest?
I think it says best and lowest, and if we can get them off the best list, then the lowest doesn't matter.
Right.
So we're gonna look at strengthening some of that so that we have a little more options, right?
You know, a lot of organizations, they average the bid, they take the middle bid.
Yeah.
Not the lowest, sometimes they pick the middle bid. And that gets the contractors to try to get it a little tighter.
And actually, we did have some internal conversations when we awarded them the bid, because there were some things they probably missed that weren't in there. And we were thinking maybe they would bond out and we could take some of their money and get the higher guy, but it didn't work out for us, okay? But I do, I mean, like I said, Director Perry's being nice and that's good, but I think the real conversation is about them long-term doing business with the city.
Jeff, you said you did some cured in place. How many feet, miles, whatever that you done? And we,
are you talking about with the Norris Brothers?
Yeah.
So.
or
one,
overall,
two-
do you know how much cured in place we?
So there's 5 cure-in-place sites,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know.
I'm just curious how that's
Oh,
working out.
excuse me, it was 1,006 linear foot of cure-in-place.
Okay.
So
Is
that's
that
5
the
different.
first
sites.
time we've done that? You said?
Sir, no, sir.
Okay.
I mean, that's,
I don't remember you talking about cured in place that much. I know what it is and all that. I'm curious as to how it's performing.
yes, sir.
Uh,
Would you like to explain that, Adam, in the engineering standpoint?
So there are some areas of town, for instance, I believe Morton's Lake has been cured in place for several years.
Really?
So the pipe itself is performing fairly well from what we've seen.
Mhm.
The service connections, though, many times is where you have problems there. So they have new technology now, well, relatively new since then, for sure, that you can actually make it kind of monolithic and shoot it up the services
Mhm.
and take care of that as well, and everything is one solid piece. So that's what we're doing now.
Okay.
Whereas then they didn't really have that option.
No, I mean, the concept makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So Dukes, they stopped smoke testing during Bonnaroo, which Bonnaroo, I think, only lasted one day. But door tags were hung during that week. Completed smoke testing so far is 199,116 feet, and there is 77,806 feet left to smoke test. They're on track to return the week of the 21st to clean and re-televise the remainder of the sewer system. And the projected finish for the project is the end of July to the 1st of August. And also the covered up manholes, we will be revisiting that. So there are quite a few manholes that have been covered up for at least 20 years where the ring was taken out, and there are still plates over the manholes that possibly could be allowing water in. And, I mean, considering where they're at, you know, it could present a major problem in digging them up. I mean, that might be something that we might have to alternatively look at in some other lens of how we fix that.
I'm sure you look at case by case basis,
sir.
but
Yes,
some of them could even be eliminated, I would.
Possibly,
So- they're covered, they've been covered up for 20 years.
Yes, sir.
Hadn't been of
but-
any use, have they?
Depending on where they're at, like intersection wise and highway, I mean, it presents a major problem. And, I guess, you know, there's time that we'll be able to figure out how to move forward in eliminating them or raising them and, moving forward with those. I did, on the topic of Dukes, so this morning I received a quote from Dukes for flow metering, for our basins. And, which it would be under HGAC contract, but the grand total was $199,000 for flow metering, which is something we strongly need. But just price-wise, I reached out to 2 different vendors, and they are gonna be sending me quotes as well, and I will be reaching out to a few more to get quotes as well, just to see. One gentleman that I talked to, I don't have his information in front of me, but they are out of, I wanna say they're out of Nashville. Excuse me, it's Cleveland, Tennessee. His quote came in, and which it could be something totally different. What I asked for is basically what Dukes and I have talked about, and he was kinda in the middle of a bunch of things, but his price estimate was much lower, and it could be something totally different. Whereas Dukes, I think they quoted, each flow metering device, I think it was not even a quarter of what Dukes quoted it at. But again, it could be something that's not the same, and it could be way off base, so I don't know yet. That will be in the next meeting. The water billing office, there's nothing to report, at the moment. City Works, so, we have been doing training, each week, and pretty soon we'll be having to go to Murfreesboro to train with them, in person instead of us just having, Teams meetings. And, after we have, I think it's, 5 meetings in person, you know, we'll be looking at the full implementation of CityWorks.
Jeff, is this, for all department heads and assistant department heads?
Talking about CityWorks?
Yes.
It is for us and, Stormwater. And I don't know if Public Works is gonna be a part of it.
Eventually, and so what this is, CityWorks is a big asset management tool, and
Yeah.
part of some grants and stuff we applied for, we had to get up to speed on our asset management. And so this is the program that, you'll be able to GPS manholes, you'll be able to put it all in mapping, and, it's really a good system.
So anytime that any work is done in the field, instead of us having to go out and have paperwork to where we fill out, the foreman or whoever, you know, is computer savvy.
So he has to be trained, the foreman?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It'll be training. They'll be able to go in and log in all of the parts that they use, the hours of the equipment, hours of labor, and all that will be sent into the system. When parts need to be ordered, it'll kick out a work order for us to order the parts that we need to restock it. Equipment hours, it will initiate, service tickets for the equipment to be serviced. It will account for depreciation. I mean,
Does it all, huh?
It does it all.
Good.
And, Mr. Lonnie, one of the good things, Mr. Lonnie has worked in CityWorks, so him coming aboard, we're a step ahead with having somebody that has.
Already knows it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I have for our director's report. So, the budget review, of course, Tuesday did not go as planned. I laid out 3 sheets. What? Oh, yes, so Emily Bull, she got her grade 3, thank you for reminding me. She got her grade 3 wastewater treatment certification, and she has done a good job with the plant since she's been here, and her work ethic is, I mean, Mr. Lonnie can speak on it too, her work ethic is unlike any other.
Good, you mean?
Very good.
With her carrying the baby.
I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but Austin has resigned and took a job in Chevyville. So
Okay.
Emily is going to step up and now that she's got all her stuff that we need in place to kind of fill in that role. And it's really nice that, you know, I want to brag on Jeff and it's really nice when you have people sitting in the wings and when something unexpected happens and you can plug them into the next role, right? That's something that we've not had in a long time throughout the city. We used to call it bench strength in manufacturing. But, you know, we have to start looking at these things that you never know what's gonna happen.
Sure.
We gotta have that next person and we can't have gaps in knowledge and all those things. So he's done a really good job about bringing people in that can step up to the next role as they become available. So, we need to probably recognize that as well.
So, also, the hires that we have made over the past year, we have made some really good hires across the board. Preston Hayter comes with, I mean, experience in land, water, and sewer pipe. Eventually down the line, I mean, a foreman position open, and he applies, he very well could be the next foreman of a crew. And when we get into the budget, and what my plans were with some of the monies that was planned for and budgeted for, was to have a whole crew dedicated to following our camera van, or to be able to fix sewer leaks and make point repairs and do things without having to be pulled in different directions. And so, I mean, not passing, I'm gonna temper my words, not passing, you know, the rate increase, it hurts us as a department because the things that we need, and I'll go down the list. So we need a crew that can be dedicated to fixing sewer leaks. Over the past 4 months, we fixed over 30-something sewer leaks and made sewer repairs on over 30 plus lines that have been broken, collapsed. Water lines run through sewer lines. I had a slideshow, and I've been busy, and I apologize for not having it. The next meeting, I'll have pictures for everyone to see of the sewer problems that we've encountered and fixed. But pre-treatment, we created a pre-treatment position many months ago in anticipation of having somebody solely dedicated to holding industries accountable to not being in violation. And that's something that we consistently have had, is industries where they do not submit their reports on time. Their sampling is not up to, they are sampling out of the hold time of their samples, not getting their samples to the lab on time. And Dana and myself and Mr. Lonnie, we've been in communication with a few of the industries. I won't name names, but we have levied fines, and the fines will get steeper as we go. And, you know, the whole point is we don't want to fine industries, we just want you to be in compliance. But having a pre-treatment position and also being able to go check our pumping stations every day to make sure that the floats work. I mean, all this is crucial for our department to make sure that we are doing what we are supposed to be doing. We have a manpower issue that, I mean, we have to rectify, and we have to fill some positions because, I mean, the city's growing. We don't have enough people in our department to continue to continuously do the work that we are required to do. And that goes without being said, the capital improvement projects that needs to take place. I mean, you know, our vehicles are shot, and every day we have a vehicle going down. Pretty soon, I'm gonna have to rent mules and wagons to haul. I mean, it's just a sad situation.
We're not, with Mr. Piggyback, I don't want people to think that we're trying to become the Cadillac version of any state or utility. This is to bring us up to industry standard.
Yeah.
We're so far behind here. I joke with Jeff all the time, come from Texas. It's like I went back in time 25 years. I mean, the things that are not being done, the things that we can't do, like he mentioned, the construction crew. That's something that's everywhere. You know how many things we could have had accomplished here if we had a dedicated construction crew that could just keep plowing, but they don't have trucks. Trucks we got 30 years old. I mean, we drive our personal vehicles to handle things. So it's not like we didn't have a vision for this.
Our foreman trucks are 30 years
Yeah, 30
old.
years old.
34 years old.
Right.
Put that into perspective.
And literally, if you don't believe me, bring pictures, have duct tape holding some of them together. Duct tape and bubble gum, and you can see the floorboard, the ground.
And getting to the rates, I mean, you know, people, for one reason or the other, if they can vote or not vote, vote for or vote against. Voting against a rate increase without even having any discussion as to, can it be a little lower? Does it need to be higher? I mean, where do we need to be at as a city in order for this department to be where it needs to be? Otherwise, I mean, if there's no agreement and it's to maintain the status quo of where we're at, what's gonna wind up happening? The state's gonna come in and they're gonna look at the rates and they're gonna say, well, you're this far behind, so we're gonna make a huge rate increase, we're gonna triple that. I mean, just in theory, they could triple your water rates or double it or whatever, and they don't care, just as long as they are getting you out of the red and getting your department up to speed. And, you know, this is a good faith effort in trying to do what's right by our department, by the citizens of this community, to provide a good service for them, and to be able to fix the issues in the city that this city has historically faced for the last 20-plus years. And it's not a knock against anybody that worked previously for the city. This is just what we're faced with today.
And I just want to make this comment. Growth is not causing the problem. Okay? Growth has brand-new lines in the ground. It's what we currently have. We've already established that the plant has the capacity to take that water. It's what we have from the new through the old to the plant that
Real
we're
old.
trying to fix, right? Now, growth adds more flow, okay? But we still have another couple million gallons we can add to the plant if we needed to treat that growth, right? So all the new construction that everybody's saying is causing our water and sewer problems, it's really not. That's flowing just fine. It's when it hits the inner part of the broken lines, that's where our problem is, because everything besides the sewer is getting into them lines.
And there's,
So the comments and the questions and all this about growth is really misguided.
so there are a lot of old subdivisions and streets that have houses probably from the 40s, 50s, that have clay mains, concrete mains, and I have all the knowledge of where our problem areas are, you know, that have been televised, not only, I mean, by us, and what Dukes is doing as well. I mean, and to be able to fix all of this, we need the money. Otherwise, I mean, you know, you're gonna be chasing your tail with inflow and infiltration.
We've been very fortunate that the ARP was enacted.
Mhm.
right? That's about $7 to $9 million of fixes that we would have never got to. So, I mean, I think that they have laid out a good path forward. I think everybody's pretty much supported the path. We just gotta push it on through to where, look, it's painful. If you're a person buying water, I understand that. But if everybody will be a little bit patient, we have some things coming down the pipe that will reduce that bill, okay? Through trash and a couple other things. But you just gotta give us some time. We're gonna offset part of it with some stuff we're working on right now, okay? But with Jeff and these guys, I mean, and I think we figured this in the budget at a little over $3 million of what the rates mean over the year, right? And we're trying to put that to work, fixing these things. We really are.
I mean, I think a lot of citizens in Manchester don't realize that water sewer takes zero tax money.
Zero.
They don't get it. They do not get it. They do not understand that. And it needs to be, it's hard for it to be self-sufficient, of course, but it's gotta be like a business. I mean, you can't have a 40% profit margin on stuff,
No.
but you still need to be,
In the
you know,
green.
get, not in the red.
Yeah, and for the last 2 years, right, just so that everybody's clear, they've dipped into your general fund for the past 2 years. So they're doing more than the revenue has given them the ability to do. Last year was $1.5 million, year before was $1 million. I mean, we can't, that's gonna go away.
You're gonna run out of that.
Yeah.
Well, the state requires that we
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
don't
And
lose.
it's just like Jeff said,
Yeah.
you don't want them coming down and setting
No.
your rates,
It'll
because it'll
be-
be a whole lot.
It's gonna be a whole lot worse.
Well, they don't live here. They're not gonna hear the average person.
I don't care.
It's just a business model.
They just wanna get things balanced on the balance sheet. That's all they're looking at.
So,
Well, let me say this, Jeff, I think you know, this board fully supports the rate increase that you proposed, and I think it's still good. You may want to tweak it a little bit, to the mayor's, point to get it passed.
and the only reason I'm asking to tweak it is because I'm not on the wrong side of it. Ms. Anderson voted for it, so she can't bring it back up. It would have to be one of the ones that voted no, or we have to change something to send back to the board.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I'm asking you to change it, and it can be very minor, so that I can get it back to the board, right? That's the only reason. Otherwise, I mean, I'm like you, I fully support what we put out there. But we can't help, can we, Julie? I mean, at
Well,
the
you
end of
can
the
only
day, it's
vote.
not something we can do.
You can only vote. Mayor, I will ask, this is a little bit off the subject, but
Sure.
you had 3 votes yes, and, I know you have to have 4 if everybody's present to pass something. If you have 3 and 3 against, it's a tie and you can break the tie. Is there a possibility you could declare a tie when you got 3 yes votes and you want to vote yes to break the tie, to say it's a tie? I think that was done 40 years ago or 30 years ago in a lawsuit.
Well, I think that part of that is if somebody abstains, it can count as a no vote.
Count as a no vote.
Right.
Yeah, but
But if they're absent,
Yeah, 3-2, you gotta have 4.
you gotta have everybody present and vote.
I mean, the people that, the aldermen that voted against it, did they have a solution? I mean, did they just, or did they just say no?
Well, and listen,
Good question.
I had a little rant at the end. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I'm like you. If you're gonna vote no, how about you throw something out on the table so that we have an opportunity to talk about it? And that did not happen. And that was my problem. Look, if they don't like what we're doing as far as the total rate, give us something to talk about. Don't just give us a flat no and
What's
move
the
us on.
alternative?
What's the alternative, right?
Yeah.
Have a solution for the problem.
But there again, I have to go back to my original comments. They voted yes for the budget. And it's in the budget. We told everybody. This is what we're
That
doing.
rate
Rate
increase is in
increases
there.
in this
Yeah.
budget. And they
Well,
give us a
one way
yes
they
vote.
voted for it.
They did.
Already voted for it.
And then when
Now
you
they're
come to
voting
get the
against.
fees passed, you know, and look, I'll take the hit here. This is probably my bad. I should have done the rates first, then the budget. But because of the time crunch and what we were trying to do,
And the
I
budget,
trusted
yeah,
that the
yeah.
committees passed them unanimously. No votes, that it would have went through. So, I learned something. Look, I'm in my first year, I'll do better. That's right, I'll get better
Does
at
the
that.
budget have to have 3 readings?
The budget has to have two.
Had to.
And it's passed.
County's 3, I think.
Yeah. And so it's all done, but this ordinance here to increase the fees has to have two. So we do it, if we're lucky and we do it in August, it'll be again September before they enact it. So we have lost a couple months no matter how we do it.
What does our budget look like without the rate increases?
So
Did you do that?
You're gonna be
What's the
about
deficit?
$4 million upside down,
How much is our fund balance?
$6 million,
Okay.
okay?
That
But we're
would-
gonna have to go into that budget.
That'll
and
get the
amend it.
state's attention.
Yes, we'll have to go and amend it if we can't get the rates through, because we can't do that. But a lot of that is exactly what Director Perry was saying. Trying to add a couple people so we can follow these breaks along as we find them.
Oh, yeah,
We're trying to
yeah.
get them
All
something
makes
that's not 34 years old to drive. So I mean, it's a good budget, and there's no reason that we should not have passed the rate increase.
Yeah, it's the reason the water department needs to be a separate entity.
At some point, I think you'll get there, and we get closer
I've been
every
saying that for
time.
30 years.
Yeah, but I think now, to be honest with you, you're getting closer and closer. You really are.
Well, I think the state would prefer it.
Yeah.
Think- You may be right. I don't know the statistics. I think there's just as many almost that isn't that is, but I understand your point of view. Yes, sir.
It is frustrating, but I will say this, if you want more sewer overflows, and you want more water main breaks, just try to keep operating on the same thing you've been doing. Don't have a rate increase.
we're only
and you'll
touching on
see.
the sewer. We're not even talking about the
What-
water.
Water main breaks are going on too. I mean, I see the list here of what's been fixed month after month after
Well,
month.
the needs for the water system is a whole different discussion. So, you know, we're hyper-focused on the sewer, as we should be. There's water problems that
Probably.
need to be looked at too, but being that our main problems right now are sewer overflows, and we're trying our best, you know, to focus on both, but, I mean, the sewer right now is taking precedent over
Sure.
water.
We can start renting porta potties soon.
Well, there is a good side on the water side. We are gonna get a new water tower. And it's only gonna cost us about $300,000 on a $3.5 million project. So that's all done. I think that there's some stuff that we probably gotta sign off, and Adam, I can't remember exactly where we are, but we have very good commitments from several different entities through grants to fund that. So that will take some pressure off the storage side of it. But, you know, I may have mentioned it a month or two ago, I can't remember exactly, but the way the water and sewer debt has been structured, there's debt that falls off in 2028. We're gonna probably come to this board in the next 6 months with a 5-year plan, and we're gonna ask you to let us borrow some money, because it won't change our debt service, because we'll do interest only for a year or two. Then when the debt falls off, we pick it right back up with the new debt that we just engaged in. But that's gonna allow you to do several things, right? We're probably gonna, you know, we're looking at a new tower on this end of town. We're looking at some more infrastructure and sewer, and we're looking at plant upgrades. So we'll talk more about that, but Jeff and his team, and with Adam and engineering, and there's a lot of folks involved, we're looking out 5 years. What's our needs? So we're gonna be back, asking you to vote yes on letting us borrow some money long-term, probably.
So, I can't remember now if I hit on, so I printed off, it's basically a 10-year rundown of the rates, which I know some of us talked about beforehand. And you can see how the rates have progressed over the past 10 years, and how we are at where we're at now. I won't really speak negatively about that, but it's self-explanatory. So on the next sheet of the water rates, you can see a yellow highlighter mark. This next page. the original proposed rates, this is something, when Miss Kathleen and I got to working on it, this was the original proposed rate, 1470, 2,000 gallons, as a minimum bill for water. I think it might be good to revisit this. I can tweak it. I just highlighted it just to show you where I was at originally and the progression of where I saw that we needed to be in for 25, 26. That's where we should have been in 24, 25 was 1470.
Jeff, your proposal to MoMA for rate increases, obviously, it goes in, the first one goes into effect of that year. The outlying years, are those estimates of what you think will happen, or is that
Are you
what?
talking about the 26, 27, 27,
Yeah, 27, 28.
That was.
That's
2%.
firm?
That was 2% increase each year.
And that would be something they would vote on and lock
Yes, sir.
in?
Yes, that, if you look at the other sheet, I mean, it has a 2% increase. So, I mean,
Okay.
they would have been voting for the next three budget cycles on the increases.
Okay, and so, thought is you don't have to go back for a rate increase for at least 3 or 4
3
years,
years.
right? I mean,
And,
that's kind of a positive for an alderman to vote for, I think. You get slapped once, you don't get slapped every year. And the mayor too, but,
So, I mean, I know this is something we can't, I haven't had the time to really,
So, but it was an
Tweak it.
overall increase for the whole 3-year cycle,
Yes, sir.
right? And then it was in the 30s, I can't remember the number.
yeah, it was, so 36% the first year, and then 2% the next 2 years or each year following. So it would have been, each year after that would have been a 2% increase. It had been a hard hit at the beginning and softer hits over the next 2 years.
And so I think, if we could amend that to 35%, take 1% off, and let's push it back. It's a different thing.
yeah,
And we'll keep the same 2% for the next 3 years in the table, but, instead of 36, I mean, I hope we can vote on a 35 and send it back with a positive recommendation. And I will put it on budget and finance, we'll let them know what our new proposal is, and then we'll go back to BOMA, hopefully, and get that done.
Are we
Is that-
doing that today?
Is that something we can vote? And I can have it all figured out by the next,
Yeah, I mean, you wanna make a motion?
I'll make the motion to amend the rates as the mayor suggested.
To an overall 35, 2, and 2, and 2, and we'll kick it back to BOMA that way.
I'll second that.
I get to work on it.
Make sure I have the exact numbers and stuff by budget.
We need to vote.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What day is it?
17.
At the appropriate time.
All right, all in favor, or any discussion on that rate proposal? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? I think that's a good idea, Mayor, you tweak it, you can reintroduce it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not gonna quit. I mean, if I could do it all 12 months of the year, I'm gonna do it every month. I mean, that's how, I mean, you know, everybody beats everybody up over fixing it. But I don't know where they think it's gonna come from. If you look around us, right, people are raising water rates, they're raising property taxes.
Yes.
I mean, we're doing tremendous work. We just gotta help them a little, right? I mean, he wouldn't ask us for another crew if he didn't think he needed it to get us where we're all trying to go. So, yeah, I mean, I'm committed. I think that a full board passes it. And we just were unfortunate that we didn't have everybody there. Vice Mayor Messick was doing a charity thing. So, yeah, I really think that hopefully we can have some good conversations between now and August with the folks and who said no, and if they have questions, try to answer them so that they feel good as well, because I'm sure, part of what they voted no for was probably citizens that had bent their ears. I don't think it was personal or nothing like that. I think it was just they were getting a lot of citizen heat from not raising them, and that's what they're supposed to do, is represent the people that they,
Sure.
you know, so yeah, we just gotta do a better job of explaining what we're trying to do, I guess.
If the two aldermen, I mean, even Alderman Messick, if they want to come down and go through, I mean, go through the plant, if they want me to take them to see problem areas, I'm more than willing to do that, just so that way they can see where this money is going.
And maybe take it on as an action item for you and Lonnie to reach out to them and see if you guys can do that in the next 30 days with them and try to help answer any questions that they have as to why it's needed. I think it's a good idea.
So one last thing, I meant to put that earlier, so July the 20th, it's gonna be, it should be posted on the city site now. We will be doing our annual, system-wide flushing. And, so it'll start July 20th between the hours of 11:30 PM to 6 AM. And, it'll take 3 to 5 nights to flush the entire system out. If any discolored water occurs, it's not a health hazard, it's just the flushing of your lines. It's recommended that you run your outdoor water spigot, even your tub, until the water is clear. You can expect that it will return to normal once the flushing is complete. If discolored water persists more than 24 hours, please call our department. And we will come out. Also, during that time frame, water customers are advised not to wash clothes until their water is clear. I mean, you'll be able to turn on your faucets and see that your water is clear. And for any emergencies, the number, which will also be posted with the public notice, is 931-273-7017.
Is that your number?
While y'all make this go over there, please.
Lonnie's, is that Lonnie's number? It's Lonnie's.
Please stress to, if anybody has cold water, the city does not sell hot water. So, if you're hot, if you get it in your
You
hot water.
got a problem with hot
unit,
water, it ain't
please
your
flush
fault.
it.
Sediment in your heater.
Cold water. If you're gonna do any flushing in your faucets, cold water.
All right, is that all, Jeff? Are you gonna skip this, items under new business?
Yes,
You wanna
sir.
put that off to next
We don't
month?
have the money right now for it.
All right.
And being the pre-treatment fees, so I'll hit on this. The pre-treatment fees, tap fees, and capacity fees.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just doing the math, I mean, currently, I might have left that one. So currently, just for reference, a 3/4 inch water tap is $1,500. What it cost us, and I mean, there's some, depending on time, I'm counting a full day. If it took us a full day to make a water tap, if you ran into problems, that's $4,800. So currently, if it took us a full day to make a 3/4 inch water tap, we're losing $3,300. And, I mean, pre-treatment fees, they're being adjusted, so that'll go before BOMA, that's for the industries. Emily and I both have sat down and we've been doing math, trying to get the pre-treatment fees to where the industries are paying, you know, and that also, the pre-treatment fees, it equaled out the math that we had done. I think it come out to about $47,000 a year, which would help fund that position each year.
Sure.
So, you know, again, these things, capacity fees, I had a good talk with Mr. Dell in Tullahoma yesterday about capacity fees. I'm gonna be reaching out to, another contact that was given to me, in a different city, and, so, again, I don't wanna inundate BOMA with all this at one time. I'd like to make sure that our rates are where they need to be, and then we'll start having the other discussions.
All right.
And then I just got one quick comment. You know, I told you guys you'd start getting budget updates. We did not get all that accomplished last year like I would like to. Anthony, you know, he did 3 audits within his first 14 months. He's trying to get us caught back up down there. But starting next month, you'll start getting budget updates on what was agreed to, what we spent for the month. It'll be something that's very readable.
Okay.
And the other part of it, which you guys' money is separate, but the rest of the city, we have broke out everybody's accounts differently. The pool of money has been distributed where it was supposed to be, and so we can start doing financial reporting a
Well, it
lot
should be.
better than what we've done in the past. So I give Anthony a pass for the first, because I needed the other stuff done, but going forward, we'll make sure you'll get July's in August and so on and so forth.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, commissioners' comments? Terrence, you? I got 2 or 3 things.
Okay.
One, let's schedule a plant visit to the water treatment plant, say sometime in October, for the Water and Sewer Commission and anybody else who wants to come, but look into that and see what'd be a good day for you. We'll go see what improvements have been done, and I know we've done a couple of those, and it's about time to do another one. Second, this training, is everybody gonna register? Do you wanna register everybody, or you need a,
I mean, I don't wanna say, let me think how to judiciously say this. I don't know your credit, your CEUs, where you stand. I mean, that's, you know, I don't know where y'all stand. If y'all wanna register, if you want me to register you, I don't mind either way.
I'm in, register me. Gary's in, register him.
So
Terry.
everybody.
I don't know about
I
Julia.
don't have any credits, so I do need to get them because my year's coming up.
Well, regardless of whether you need credits or not, it's a very good,
It's a
Yes.
good thing to go through.
yeah, it's.
Keep you updated.
Yeah, absolutely. You do learn a lot. And it's like any professional organization, you learn you're not the only one with this problem. And it's good to talk to other people, how are you handling it?
Yes.
And sometimes you feel better, oh, we're better shape than my neighbor over here, you know,
Yeah.
something. It's worth, I think it's worth it.
Okay, so all 5 get registered, and you get
Could you work on per diems in
Yes,
advance?
I'm gonna get those to you, but
Yeah.
I never did. All
You
I-
ain't financing the city this year.
Actually, all I got was mileage. I didn't get any per diem.
so you guys wanna stay at the same hotel, is that right?
It wasn't bad.
The one he put out last time
Takes care of
was
that.
the Hilton
Question.
Hilton.
card. That was, I thought reasonable and,
2 weeks probably.
yeah.
It's there and go.
Yeah, it's right there, and you can walk through the parking lot, and you can walk to the,
Yeah.
it wasn't that far.
So I'll go
Mike
ahead
and I
and make a
ran
reservation
through
for
it.
Yeah,
that as well.
it's not bad, and it's not as high as some of the others either.
And it's not that far
Uh,
away. I mean, August is
Yeah.
almost here.
Yeah, that's right. Now, if we all gonna do this, you won't have anybody have a meeting in August. Our normal meeting is August the 7th.
It could be,
So, plan on a week later or something.
Yeah.
do we need to have well, no, it's already been approved, so never mind.
But if you wanna have that meeting about rate increase.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask, but being that it's already been approved about the 35%, there's no
Yeah,
reason to
okay.
have a special call meeting.
All right, so, whatever else you got on the agenda, we'll just do a separate meeting later.
So skip August unless something comes up.
Well, you can skip it too, if you can live with skipping it. Yeah, that's,
play that by ear, how about that?
What I'll do, I can just send out, I'll gather all the data like the director's report and any pertinent information, I'll just send it to you in email,
Okay.
you know, for the month of July, so that way you're not behind. And at the next meeting, if you want to visit any of the items on July's, then you'll have it at your disposal.
All right. Good enough. Any other comments? Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye.